My goal with this course is to show you how you can automate tedious Excel tasks. Sometimes just a few lines of code, VBA code, can save a company many hours of tedious repetitive working tasks. Some Excel users may find the whole programming world scary, so my challenge of this course is to make VBA accessible for people without having a background in programming. My goal is to make the power of VBA available to them under the hoods of Excel and show you can get the confidence so that you can learn enough VBA to use it for these kinds of tedious Excel tasks and thereby make your working life easier. Before getting started, let's open a Excel file. And first of all, we need to make developer one of the items on the toolbar. For me, it's already there, but let's just say it's not there. Let's remove it for once. Okay, that was a little bit fast, but I just removed it. Okay, so if we need the developer tab, we need to make the developer one of the items on the toolbar. It comes with Excel, and all you have to do is add it as a tab to your Excel environment. So as you saw before, the first thing we have to do is click on File over here. Then we click on Options. And then we go to Customize Ribbon. And we simply take off the Developer tab. And we click OK. And as you can see, we have the Developer tab over here in our Excel environment now. There's another thing that I want to talk about before we get started. It's a different type of file when you save a file that has a macro in it. So now I'm going to show you how to save a file with VBA code in it. We simply click File again and Save As, Browse, and instead of saving it as simply book1.xls and so on, we click Macro Enable Workbook, and we click here. And I just save it on my desktop. And now that you can see, it is not a normal Excel file, it is an Excel file with a macro enabled workbook, and it has to be that if you want to do any kind of code within Excel, or if you simply just want to record some macros, you have to enable the workbook. Otherwise, you will not be able to edit the code or make any kind of code in Excel. So I save it here. Okay, so now I want to show you how we can use this developer tool that we have just tapped in on our Excel environment. So how do we record a VBA macro? Well, first of all, we simply click Record Macro. Let's call it Macro 2. Okay, and once I click OK, the macro starts recording. Let's call it hello, let's say hello world here. And how do we stop recording? Well, we simply click stop recording the macro. So now we have a macro which is inside of Excel somehow. And how do we access this macro? Well, we simply click macros over here. And then we just step into the code. So now that you can see, we have a macro called sub macro 2, the macro that I've just recorded. And now I want to show you the power of this macro recorder. If we remove hello world here, we can simply just do something and we can enter the macros again, macro 2, step into. And what do we want to do? We just simply click here and then the string hello world will appear right there. So that is one of the powers of VBA. Well, another thing that you can do is that you can actually just change the text string here, the hello text string. If you just simply click, I don't know, hello world 2, we remove it from here, and we go into macros once again, step into, and if we now click play, it will show hello world 2. So as you can see now, it is a very powerful tool because you can just record something and then you can actually just run it and you can edit and everything. But now it's just really basic, and later on we will get more into functions and different types and how you code and pseudocode and all that stuff. But now on, I just wanted to make sure that you understand how we can use the developer tab and how we can record a VBA macro. And you can see over here there's some kind of green stuff going on. Well, it's simply because of this symbol right here. This symbol tells the computer that whatever is after that symbol is just a text. It's a comment, not text, it's just a comment. So the code cannot really see this macro2 macro stuff. It doesn't run that. It's just a string, it's just some text. It's not a string, it's just some text. That we cannot really, the computer is not running that. So it's just, people use that if, for example, you're working in a large company and you made some code and it's difficult for other people to understand your code. So you want to make a small comment and say that the code below here is doing this or doing that. So it's a great tool to have, but it's also good to understand that when you're making a comment, the code is not actually running the comment. Okay, that was it for the first lecture, and I hope to see you in the next lecture as well.